And greetings. This is How Not to Game with Callie Jack. I'm Callie Jack, your host, or at least that's my gaming name. Channel name is Dyford Rex because that's the name I wrote under. And initially it was supposed to be to promote writings, but I gave up on writing. Went to this just for fun. I'm kind of bored in between job applications. I could cut a video right now. So we're just, doing things for fun. For now. Who knows? I mean, it'd be nice to make some money. Not that I'm planning on it. Anyway, we are playing Simutrans. This is our Simutrans gameplay tutorial. And by gameplay, I mean I'm playing the game, and as we encounter issues, that's when we're going to step up and start doing things. And I just did a couple of turns with Calico Northwestern, as we now call the Calico Western Company. It evolved a little bit as I realized there was nothing in the southwestern or west central sides really of the map, so it's going to be pretty much just up in the northwest corner. Eastern Transport's doing pretty good. It is time to start thinking about some alternate methods of making money here for Eastern. And one of those is a very short, easy thing, getting power from the power plant back over to here at the coal mine. Now, goods doesn't tell you how much. Produces 70.3 units or 1,200 units of power per month. 70.3 per game minute, or actual minute in the game. This guy let's see, where does it come in? Production boost. Demand. He's needing 326 units of electricity. So we can get 326 kilowatt hours over there to him. Let's do that. So electrical building, as we showed you early on before the autosave bites the video streamer dude incident that made us restart, we have talked about this. It's through special construction tools where you have things like warehouses, post offices, the cattle porch, the various yards and storage facilities that go with your stations for the various fuel freight items, where you can change your player, found a new city if you have enough money, which I don't. Plant trees to try to change your view. You can do the power lines in this. You merge the stations, which we showed you last time, or a couple episodes ago when I goofed up. You can show and reset your reserved ways through this as well as through the other. I prefer going the other way. I don't like resetting. You can buy a house. You can rotate a building that you're dropping in. You can rebuild the selected object. Create an infrastructure macro script. I don't know how to do that. That's for like when you're building a train depot or something, a yard. You can have pre-built yards. And then there's the load the tool script. Those are advanced ones. Even I don't know how to do those that well, so I'm not going to teach you those. I'll leave those for the guys that know what they're doing. I might start playing with that in later episodes as we get through it. I realize I got 6,000 game hours in this game, so me saying mostly in this pack set, the pack 64. So if I'm saying I don't have that skill, yeah, I'm the guy you don't want to game like, which is why we call this channel How Not to Game. That, and as you can see, crooked lines, silly setups, not going for maximum profit right away, not trying to make everything go fast. I'm more slow. I'm a little bit more laid back. less focused than a lot of the other guys. So again, we're going to switch back over here to Eastern Transports again to switch companies, do the list, come to the guy, the outline of the guy with the hat, and then these little arrows over here let you switch companies if you're playing by yourself. There is a password lock if you're in with other guys and you don't want to play, them messing on your company. Hey, password lock it. Just make certain you remember that password. And don't use password. Anyway, so we're looking at it, seeing what we can do. Having got the iron part to the car factory, it's now time to start getting the plastics part to the car factory. As I showed last time around, once I got the plastics and a couple of passenger lines up and running over here in Eastern, they began to make money, and right now Eastern is in trouble. They are total amount $72,000 in the hole. Their bank account's $148,000 in the negative. So yeah, they are technically bankrupt. We are doing a Chapter 11 reorganization. To try to get them going correctly. So again, make certain we are on Eastern. We are. One way to tell is the color of your bars. Watch this. If I switch to Calico, now I open lists. Oh, it's still orange. Okay. But when you hit finances, it'll tell you by the color they are there. So like there, switch to Eastern, hit finances, and that's Eastern's color coming up, not the blue of Calico Northwestern. As you can see, it also tells you when you've switched companies, now active as Eastern Transport. Several ways you can know that you're actually on it if you're playing by yourself. All right, how do I want to take and do this? Should I first get a little bit of business going here in town to take and drive business to the car dealership? Or should we go ahead and hook in that fuel depot to the nearest oil field? And that oil field is way back over the other side of here. It's back up by the river. So we'd have to bring the oil in this way. Pricey move, pricey move. What we did before was we started grabbing at the oil rig, remember? And I think that's a good idea. So first things first, we're going to build the rail part of the yard for the outbound and for future inbounds from the land-based fuel setups. And then we're going to do that little flip up we have to do right here so that we can build the dock, close out our rail, close out special construction, which I should have had closed, close landscaping because landscaping ain't going to matter too much on this. Go to here, we were doing the quay with a pier before, but we can also just do a quay. But a quay can only hold 32 freight, whereas this gives us 160. So worth that extra $80 a month. There's our quay, and it'll also mean that we can dock all the way out here at the end of the quay, and it'll pipe it into the factory for us. Now, the one problem is it barely grabbed it, so we want to do the stations in a moment, but let's go ahead and put in our shipbuilding yard. And we're going to go to ships, find the oil tanker right there, the Enco oil tanker. And schedule him. Well, the first thing we want to do is, hey, it's a ship. Ships have names. And this is the ETC SS. What do we want to call it this time? Not Titanic. Um, it's crude skimmer. Because he's hauling crude oil over to the refinery. Okay, I'm going to hit enter just to take and lock that in. Then we're going to go to our stop type, back out a bit. I'm going to go ahead and move everything over to one corner so we kind of have it out of the way a little bit. There we go. Now we should be able to step in one more. There we go. So if we park this from the oil rig, pick up at the oil rig, and come to our dock. There's a refinery yard, so we're good. 100% that load. Individual schedule, promote to line, because we do want this on a line. And this is the ETC for Eastern Transport Company. Crude Tanker 1. Route. You know what? Route 1 sounds better. And we'll use the number. That way we can put other ships onto that same thing without having to do the dot and connect the dots and set the things. And we're going to set that ship to going. Next up, we've got to take and figure out how to take and smooth this out. And that's going to require going even deeper into debt on a company we didn't want to do it. So close shipping tools, open both the landscaping and our railroad tools. You'll notice I have them stacked. I've gone over in other videos how to take and move your bars. So, and lock them into place when you open them up so that you're not having to move them constantly to be able to see them. The series is pretty good on that part. That's one thing I do have down. All right. I'm going to extend it out to about there and then bring it up. So now we'll grab the angle and make those angles. If I'd have done the angle on a flat surface instead of digging it down, it actually does it a different way and raises up an angle like what we had over here. Not exactly what we want. Okay, so I'm not caring about that third line. He's just there as a placeholder. We're just going to bring this out and take him down to connect into here. Not using the control that time. Got away with it. Use the control this time to make certain we do get away with it. There we go. And that lets us get rid of these two pieces of line. All right, now, because we're going to have multiple trains going along this stretch, we now do need to consider a siding to allow trains to pass each other here and not cause problems. So from here, I'll do a spur out, come back here to here. We're actually going to make it occur from a junction. Causes less slowdowns if you use an existing junction to start a tray siding for passing like this. Because this will let this guy come out and onto this if this guy's coming this way. And he's cleared here, but he hasn't gotten to this point. So, and then we got to do the signaling for the siding. So you do it as one way on each side So that puts it so that this one's going south and this makes it northbound on this side. That way, automatically, without us having to schedule it. Another way we could have done was to have said, hey, you come over here and just wait at a regular two-way signal here and here to do it. But this allows a little bit more so that if both trains, if one's gotten into here and one's entering here, they can both keep going and hopefully they'll be clear enough that they don't have to stop at the signals and go. Unfortunately, I've noticed that they tend to time out so that they just always have to hesitate and restart, which slows them down. Which is why sometimes you'll see people do a second siding on the other side and make it an elongated siding with a junction midway. Still causes a slowdown for the turning in and out, but hey, things happen. All right, so we've got that set up. Do our production station here. Whoops, and we did it wrong. Did it wrong. So again, let's go to that special, use that special tool to merge the stop. So we're merging this to this. Stations are too far away. So we do have to do it the blow it up method. All right. Yes, if your initial point is too far from the original station. And then we want to call this a dockyard. And so we're going to call this, instead of docks and yard, to remind ourselves that it's all one integrated facility. Remember how I said that there were those special tools? I think it's time to show you. So again, special construction. One of those is an oil tank. So let's see if by doing this, we can keep going. That'll increase our amount. So now if we go to our capacity is 576 cargo units versus what it was before. So that's 320 more than what it was earlier. Also sort of announces that it's an oil dock. Now we need the plastics train. Again, we're going to stick with the old Sacker. Nice, reliable, cheap. We're trying to bail this guy out. We're not trying to expel our other vehicles at this time. We're going to go with the bigger of the powder carts, even though it's not a true. The main difference is the speed. And I think we're going to stick with the smaller ones. Just going to run those three, set the schedule, get our start point, get it over to the car factory to deliver. And we need to add I think we need to add a station here. We're just going to add a platform. If I do the way I was thinking with these signals that had to be put in order to prevent things from causing problems, if we take those signals out and put a choose signal here, it's going to throw things all the craziness. So what we'll do is tell it to go to there, get our rail tools open, grab that cargo station, and make certain they can deliver to that point. Set that for 100%. I did go with a slightly longer 4-point station. We do need to name the line so we know what we're running. That's the Lakefront Plaspellator. And one of the things we do need to look at is that was skipper motors, we said. So Lakefront Skipper Plaspellator. And start that train moving. It'll take a time to get out to that spot, which is quite a ways out. But with this, we no longer have to worry about the ore train jamming up and everything else. And once we start getting plastics in, we can start moving cars over here because we'll have everything we need to build the car. Next up, in our next video, and this has been a very long video, will be some work on building to get people over to buy those cars. Hey, I'm Kelly Jack. This has been episode 28 in our series. Thanks for watching. Have a better day than I'm having.